Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this forum. My name is TOGESWARI GANESON, and I'm the commerce student at University Malaysia Kelantan, and I will be serving as your moderator today. Now I'm going to introduce each and every panels here. This is FAREHAN as first panel, Fatin as second panel, Alia as third panel, Rosnawati as fourth panel, Rabiatul as fifth panel, IZZAH as sixth panel, SYAHIDAH as seventh panel, Ain as eighth panel, and the last is YLIANI as panel 9. We are here today to talk regarding how employer and employees embrace inevitable of economic change. Before we start our forum, I would like to give a few explanations on today's topic. An employee is a person who works for an organization or company part-time or full-time and receives compensation for services rendered in the form of salary. An employer is an organization that employs or hires the services of employees. Moreover, I would like to give a clear explanation or example here where in COVID-19 pandemic, employer and employee embrace inevitable of economic change. Why I said employee and employees in COVID-19 pandemic embrace inevitable of economic change? Because in COVID-19 pandemic, employee and employees had a big challenge where they managed to create or change the way of working environment which work from home. So even though this is a new challenge for them, they can still turn the same situation as in their office into work from home situation where they can manage to do meetings, games, encourage innovations, develop skills, develop staffs, and leads to better business opportunities. Therefore, this is a big achievement for both sides since they have productive and able to create new workplace environment. So far you already know that COVID-19 pandemic become one of the inevitable changes or had to be accepted by workers and employees. There still have some changes in economic wise. Therefore, I would like to ask first panel, in your opinion, what are the positive impacts from employee and employees inevitable of economic change?
Thank you to our moderator, Mr. Geswari. Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nur FAREHAN Binti Mazin. My matrix number is A20A2191. Alright, for the first inevitable economic change is change in technology. The world is now heading for a new millennium where the current of technology is so advanced in the line with the 4.0 revolution. Many countries are now turning their attention to the field of technology by taking the opportunity to make the technology industry the engine of economic growth of the country. In general, technology is defined as an application of scientific knowledge that can benefit and help solve human problems and face in daily life. The 4.0 generation industrial revolution not only provided opportunities but also met with resistance for the current generations. For advantages, technology can provide training. Technology can dramatically change the landscape for training within your organization. For new technology itself, or ongoing professional training and personal development. For example, webinars are an effective way to provide training at different times for employees who work outside the typical 9 to 5 schedule. When you provide training a new technology or for professional development training, you are conveying the message to your employees that you are interested and invested in providing them with opportunity to perform at optimal level and committed to preparing them for potential future career opportunities. For disadvantages, it can make workforce reduction in an organization. Along with the 4.0 Industrial Revolution, we're the starting point of a new era with the various advanced technology, such as supercomputer and smart robots, advanced technologies such as technology capabilities without directly involving human in a field or task, the development and use of technology that is gaining traction in work organization today is indeed heading to the progress and increased productivity of an organization. However, this development has led to a reduction in the workforce of public or private employees in an organization. The development of technology by creating a variety of sophisticated machines and automation robot is able to complete various types of jobs in a short period of time without the help or handling of many workers. That's all from me. Next, I will leave it to Fatin for the next point.
Thank you, panel 1. Now I would like to ask panel 2. As panel 1 say, the advantages is technology provide training, and the disadvantages is technology can make workforce reduction, right? So what are the other positive impact on change in technology?
Thank you, moderator. Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Fatin Najwa Binti Mohamad Fikri and my matric number is A208223. I want to add some point on the technology growth issue is it can reducing dependence on recruitment of foreign workers. The combination of technological adoption in addition to offering better wages and benefits to the local worker will reduce the dependence of foreign workers in the manufacturing sector. Based on University Kuala Lumpur Business School Economic Analysis, Professor Dr. Aini Zuhaili Abdul has said the adoption of technology in all aspects, especially industry that use a lot of labor, such as in the manufacturing sector, is an important to lead Malaysia to the developed country. This will be able to attract more local workers to operate more sophisticated equipment and technology. However, since technology has become a fundamental element of modern enterprise, production is severely affected by defects and damage to the machinery and information system. For example, e-commerce business cannot function if the internet connection is lost, while factory production is reduced when machines stop operating. In addition, as the technological devices become more advanced and complex, only specialized professionals such as mechanics and programmers have the ability to fix the problem. So from this, depending on technology growth has many advantages to the employer and employees to face the change of economy. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 2. Next, I would like to call panel 3 for further explanation on positive impact. The stage is yours.
Thanks to the moderator, TOGESWARI, for giving me the opportunity to express my opinion. Hello and Assalamualaikum. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nik Alia Nadhirah Binti. My matric number is A208287. Today, I would like to talk about the positive impact of the minimum wage in Malaysia. Which issue will have both positive and negative impact. So I want to talk about the positive impact. Minimum wage refer to the wage given by the employer at the minimum level, and it is set by the government regardless of any sector, regardless of various factors including gender, qualification, health, and so on. In my opinion, the increase in the minimum wage is very much demanded because the cost of living is increasing and the amount of the minimum wage set by the Malaysian government previously is no longer relevant today. In addition, this increase in the minimum wage is expected to contribute to higher household income. Economists in the country give different opinions on this issue. Some argue that an increase in the minimum wage will further increase the price of goods because employers will channel the increase in labor costs to consumers. There are also those who think that the minimum wage should be raised because workers are also consumers who will eventually boost our country's economy. With this increase in the minimum wage, workers will get a surplus of income. When they have a surplus of income, they will spend and be able to help improve the economy of their environment. In turn, an increase in the employees' minimum wage will also increase employees' EPF savings and their financial resilience after they retire. This is very important as the country will enter a phase of an aging population. But more importantly, this increase in the minimum wage can reduce the misery borne by low wage workers. Uh, it will be able to deal with this rising cost of living. So in conclusion, the increase in the minimum wage is very good for the workers' economy as well as the national economy. After the government announced an increase in the minimum wage from 1,200 ringgit to 1,500 ringgit, it received a very good response from Malaysians. Workers across Malaysia will enjoy the new minimum wage. So that's all my opinion and knowledge about the increase in the minimum wage of workers in Malaysia. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 3. I agree with your opinion here. So now I would like to ask panel 4, as you know, one of the positive impact that we learn is change in technology and also increase in minimum wage will contribute to for employees. So what are the other positive impact that you might say? Panel 4, you can proceed now.
Okay, sorry. Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, thanks to the moderator for inviting me in this session to give an opinion. Okay, how employer and employers embrace inevitable of economic change. Okay, my point is wage increase could reduce depends on foreign workers. Okay, the issue of depends on foreign labor is not something new and not unique in Malaysia. The new economic model, NEM, launched in 2010, is designed to bring the country out of the middle income trap and into a high income economy. The NEM expressed concern that the continued and significant presence of foreign workers could slow down the transformation of the industry. This issue was raised again in the COVID-19 post-pandemic economic reform plan, which includes specific measures to manage and reduce the dependence on foreign workers. Given the high unemployment rate, as well as the hottest issues right now is the increase in the minimum wage. Therefore, the dependence on foreign workers may need to be reduced to absorb local workers. With this, these interventions can reduce unemployment among Malaysians. That's all. Thank you.
All right. What are the appropriate measures to reduce dependence on foreign workers? Panel 4. Can you give your opinion on this question?
Okay, the appropriate measures to reduce depends on foreign workers. The first, encouraging employers to open part-time job opportunities or flexible working hours means employers are encouraged to set up childcare centers in the workplace so that women workers can focus on their work, and this measure will also attract housewives to go out to work. So indirectly, foreign workers can be reduced. Other than that, the recruitment of foreign workers is only a temporary solution to the problem of labor shortage, which means that Malaysians need to be prepared to take over the place currently filled by foreign workers, especially professionals. Promote capital intensive and high tech industry to replace labor intensive. This is because the need for manpower will decrease if it is replaced with machines or machinery, and indirectly the depends on foreign workers can be reduced as well as and employment can also be overcome. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 4. Many of us want to know what are the negative impact on today's topic. Therefore, I would like to call panel 5 to share on negative impact.
Thank you to our moderator, TOGESWARI. Hello and good evening. My name is Rabiatul Adawiyah. I will talk about negative effect of minimum wage. The increase in the minimum wage proposed by government will have negative effect such as a reduction in employment. The implementation of the minimum wage increase obliges all employers to pay higher wages than before. The proposed minimum wage increase has provoked objection from employers. If the minimum wage is increased, it will have a hard impact on employers, especially on small and medium-sized companies. This increase in the minimum wage will also force employers to bear rising labor and operating costs. This situation will result in an increase in labor costs that the firm has to bear, not necessarily in line with the firm productivity. The small and medium-sized company are likely to be exposed to the risk of the reduction in the number of employees or closure of the business if it continues in the long run. In addition, a minimum wage increase that is too large in too short of period time, it will cause some companies or business to have difficulty to competing in the future. For example, there are employers who have to limit hiring and reduce the total amount to be paid to employees by the hours. If there are a reduction in employees in a company due to an increase in the minimum wage, it will also affect the employees and the company. The scope of work for an employee in a company or organization will become large and cause the company productivity to decrease. In short, when a minimum wage increase, it will lead to a reduction in employment, and it will also lead to an increase in the number of unemployed, which can have an impact on the economics. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 5. Furthermore, I would like to ask panel 6 opinion here. What are the more negative impact that you could say today? The floor is yours now.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Thank you to the moderator for giving me the opportunity to discuss the issue of how employer and employee embrace the inevitable economic change. Basically, the situation will look like that workers earn more income, therefore can spend more and will boost economic activity. However, the increase in the minimum wage has an impact on prices, meaning that the cost of the product and service will rise. When the increase in the price of the good is observed, the employer or operator will pass on the additional cost to the consumer. Therefore, there are those who do not enjoy the increase in the minimum wage, but the price of item rises overall. As a result, the purchasing power of worker decreases rather than increases as the price of goods rises higher than the increase in wages earned. At the same time, highest paid international workers will send more money back to their home country. As a result, the Malaysian ringgit will lose value. Goods price will also rise, particularly for important raw material. Therefore, in every employment relationship, wages or salaries are the most important element in daily life and are the main instrument that connect employee and employer. Therefore, wages or salary are also important for every employer to develop an organization. For employee, wages are an important source of income to determine their level of quality of life. In addition to the minimum wage rate is a measure of the services of each job performance in each organization. Unlike employer, the set salary is part of the production cost of an organization. Therefore, it is very important often of determining competitive job performance and also the type and number of employees to be hired to perform each task in the organization. That's all my opinion. Next, I will pass to next panel.
Thank you, panel 6. That's really a great sharing today. How about panel 7? Can you explain more on negative impact apart from increased investment and operating cost increase for employers?
Thank you to the moderator, TOGESWARI. Assalamualaikum and hi to all my fellow friends. I'm NURUL Binti AHMAD KUSAIRI. Would like to proceed for the next part. I agree with Rabiatul and IZZAH points where they pull out the negative side of this issue. So based on the previous point, I can directly state that this issue is more likely to drag a negative impact, especially from the employer's side itself, which is the increase in operating costs. Many people will wonder what is exactly the right means of this operating cost or the elements that include in the cost. So basically, operating costs encompass the costs incurred to maintain and administer to company on a day-to-day basis. They are directly related to income generation, which refer to all the expenses during the running of the operating process, such as the accounting and legal field, sales and marketing costs, as well as the salaries and the wages. I will highlight the salary and wages point in this discussion because it is strongly related to our topic. But first, let's see from now situation. Everybody was constantly talking about minimum wages and so on every time and every chance they get. This topic will stick in their mind and tongue, but never they realize how this topic can put a major impact on the entire economic system. This topic become more popular among employees and also the social circle itself. Even the students at school are also exposed to this issue. Most of them were taught based on what they have seen and experienced, but it's only 30%, where the rest of it are coming from the company, government, economy, and also the world issue that changing every year. In light of COVID-19 disruption in the supply chains, companies are expected to increase their costs to protect themselves, thus compounding the difficulty of covering business expenses amid weak demand. Operating costs decreased for several reasons. In part, disruption to global and local supply chains are contributing to the cost increase. The current situation of COVID-19 are still drags the company on working and repairing the roads and condition to return to the stability. If only the company increase salary and wages, then the production process cannot be done because the operating costs are unbalanced. You will see the effect shortly, but it will certainly be a major explosion in the future. Company needs to adapt to the ever-changing situation and also ever-changing absorption of the culture in a way to reduce the operating costs themselves. That's all I have to say regarding to this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 7. I would like to ask one question here. What are the steps or approaches could a company take in order to address this issue?
Thank you for the question. At this point, based on my personal opinion, the best and the most effective way to control this problem is to reduce operating costs. The company needs to be wise in choosing what costs need to be reduced or increased in order to re-control production operation at a more maximum level and profitable not only to the company but to the parties involved throughout the business process. Choosing how much to spend on goods and services, salaries and other operation costs is a decision to the employer can make on their own and ask how much salary they need to spend. Consequently, it not only controls operating costs but also gives the company new experiences for adapting to both their internal and external business environment. So that's my answer to this question. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 7, for your opinion here. Okay, until now we are learned about positive impact and negative impact on today's topic. So therefore, I would like to move to steps. So therefore, I would like to call panel 8 for explain what are the issues that can solve today's topic.
Thank you to Togeshwari. My name is Nur Ain Nadirah Binti Abd Rahaman. My metric number is A20A1659. Today, I want to talk about the step to help employees to accept the change of salary. The first step is listen to feedback. Listen to feedback is critical that the team voice must be heard and many members of the team have been planning for a change are aware of what is required. Getting their input will help you make smooth transition and acquire their support. In companies, there are many different types of transformation. The first type does not require an explanation, and everyone is aware of what the necessity and what is occurring. Other types of the change are misunderstood and have negative effect. Getting feedback through the change process will help keep everyone on track and connected. The next one is define clear role. It's critical to define responsibilities and the decision maker. Everyone involved in creating change has to know who is responsible, accountable, and informed. Certain components of the change process must be owned by the specific team members. Once the role has been assigned, make sure that the target has been specified, regular check-ins have been arranged, and a communication flow has been established. And the third one is provide training. Training will be necessary the majority of the time, whether it's a new system, method, software, or a complete makeover of customer service. The team must be trained in order for the change to stay and be effective. This is an important point to remember, and certainly time and money must be aside. This is where the majority of business fail during the implementation phase. Leader must be provided suffice time and resource. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 8. Thank you again and for sharing your opinion here. So I would like to call the last panel 9, for further explanation on address this issue.
Okay, thank you to our moderator, TOGESWARI GANESON. I am Nur Ain Nadirah, the last panel for our discussion today. I would like to share something about our topic on how employer and employee embrace inevitable of economic changes. One of the inevitable changes in economy is inflation. Inflation measures the average price level of basket of goods and services in an economy. It refers to the increases in prices over a specified period of time. As a result of inflation, a specific amount of currency will be able to buy less than before. Okay, so I found one of the best way for company to face economic change, such as inflation, is they can buy assets now to enjoy the advantages on the future. What assets can company buy during inflation? So several asset classes perform well in inflationary environments. Company can buy tangible assets like real estate and commodities. Most of these assets have historically been seen as inflation hedges. Real estate income is income earned from renting out a property. Real estate works well in inflation. This is because as inflation rises, so do property values and so does the amount a landlord can change for rent. This results in the landlord earning a higher rental income over time. This helps to keep pace with the rise in inflation. For this reason, real estate income is one of the best ways to hedge an investment portfolio against inflation. Like any investment, there are pros and cons to investing in real estate. First, when purchasing real estate, the transaction costs are considerably higher as compared to purchasing shares of a stock. Second, real estate investments are illiquid, meaning they can't be quickly and easily sold without a substantial loss in value. If you are purchasing a property, it requires management and maintenance, and these costs can add up quickly. And finally, real estate investing involves taking on a great deal of financial and legal liability. Next, commodities are a broad category that includes electricity, oil, and natural gas, as well as foreign currencies, emissions, and certain other financial instruments. Commodities and inflation have a unique relationship where commodities are an indicator of inflation to come. As the price of commodity rises, so does the price of the products that the commodity is used to produce. Before investing in commodities, investors should be aware that they are highly volatile and investor caution is advised in commodity trading because commodities are dependent on demand and supply factors. A slight change in supply due to geopolitical tensions or conflicts can adversely affect the prices of commodity. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, panel 9. That's really a great knowledge you shared today. So I would like to conclude here, where from the previous discussion we can conclude that there is, even though has positive and negative impacts on today's topic, there is always have a great solution at the last. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining for address this great topic, and I hope that this forum has given you all a very much clear understanding on how employer and employees embrace inevitable of economic change. Thank you again for joining and take care. Goodbye.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. And goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.